Welcome to subbuteo, where we pull up a stool, flick to kick, and dissect the beautiful game. One craft beer and one tabletop at a time. Grab a glass, pull up your figures into position. It's time for flick off. Hi Beth, cheers.
Adrian, hi, cheers.
Wow. So the beers today, we have bought some in. Premium Yabisu, I probably said that wrong, apologies in advance. Born in 1890 Tokyo, so we're going with Japan theme today. Beth's got the Japanese top on.
Yeah, so this is a Japanese 100% fine malt with selected hops. So let's see. Here we go.
Smells like a lager.
It's a lager.
Yeah,
It's definitely a lager. 5% alcohol, so it just hits the right level. It hits my minimum. It's definitely a lager.
Yeah, I'm an ale person, but it's not too bad for a lager.
Not too bad. But yeah.
Malty, you said, didn't it? Yeah, malty. You can taste the sort of malty.
Yeah. It's a malty
malty
lager.
to it. Yeah. There you go. Never seen it before, but it's not too bad. Start the clock.
Okay, so ready to play, Adrian?
Right out.
We got 3, 2, 1, play.
Okay, our topic today is rivalries. So we'll get into the subbuteo ones first. Beth, as always, subbuteo first before football. You've done a bit of research, I believe, about international rivalries.
I had a little chat with a few folks around the world, and I asked people who they thought were the main rivals in the international subbuteo world, table football world. And I think the main ones that came up were Belgium and Italy, and also Greece and Spain. And I think those four really have quite a battle. And I'd probably throw in Malta as well. So from an international point of view, on the main stage, those are probably the rivals, Adrian.
Yeah, there you go. And you had some individuals as well from the global scene, I should say.
Yeah, well, the global scene, I guess, everyone... well, both of you who are listening to this podcast will obviously know of Carlos Flores and Dimitros as well. And then we've got Wolfgang Haas as well.
Yes, he's come down here.
Wolfgang's visited us before.
A couple of times now, isn't it?
A couple of times.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well done, Wolfgang.
Yeah. So they're all great rivals. And then you've got the Sheen family. Pascal Sheen is right up there as well. So from an individual point of view, I would say they were pretty huge rivals.
Yeah, they probably got there because of the numbers they have too. That's probably the open ones, and you've probably got veteran ones and stuff that have rivalries from different eras that we're not even aware of.
Yeah, that's true.
Which we don't have that sort of scale to anything to compare with. But we've got a few on the local scene. I sort of scribbled down a few in advance. Back in the very early days, probably back in the 80s and earlier, was Gary Hosey was the main man here, and it's kind of him versus Daylight I wrote down, but eventually Robert Green was probably his main rival, I would have thought. I used to read a lot that they were in the final together against each other. They seemed to be the last one standing. Then into the modern times when I sort of come back into it was Peter Thomas and Carl Young were often in the final.
Yeah, they were scary to play.
Correct,
scary to play. Still are.
So they just seem to always be up against each other in the final. It's usually pretty serious between those two as well. They both like to win.
Yep.
Don't we all? And the sort of next tier down, no offence, Benji and Luke, but locally on the scene in Melbourne at least, there was often the Benji and Luke rivalry, friendly rivalry, but they often used to clash against each other either in finals or just the way the tournaments panned out. They seemed to be lined up in the knockout stages almost all the time. So they were some of the ones that leapt to my mind individually in the open category. And then of course in the women's, Beth, yourself and Kimiwada from Japan for a few years there in Asian Cups. You've been neck and neck and in some close games, and more recently with Catherine Palomar. Especially a bit of a rivalry there. It's usually the two of you sort of fighting off for who's the victor.
You're right, Adrian. I think the women's game is an interesting one because as I've said before, really it's about, if you don't see it, if you don't see, you can't be. So the women's game is very much about promoting the game for women to be involved as well. And I think in the Australian scene, we've struggled to get women playing. So when I do get competitors playing, it makes it so much more enjoyable.
Yeah.
And Catherine's just been amazing. She's a very competitive woman.
Want, yeah.
In the international women's scene.
Yes.
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
So you have been over there to the World Cup there.
I
Who
have.
impressed you? Did you get any little rivalries going on, or
I
you sort of watch from afar as to some of the big guns?
Some of the big guns I had to watch from afar because I didn't get to play them. I did get through to the 16, but I guess when you talk about the women's game and the massive rivalries, there's Delphine and Carolina and Audrey as well, Hubert as well. Sorry if I haven't pronounced those names correctly. But yeah, some of the big guns in the women's game are super impressive.
Is it friendly rivalry in the women's?
It really is.
I gather in some of the men's, it's not overseas. Maybe it's just the impression I get watching some of the footage. I think it's pretty, well, they're big players who have won big events, so you know, they want to win against each other, so it's understandable.
Yeah.
Is it like that in the women's, or is it a bit more friendly and supportive? It's the same,
really,
you know, people are trying to get, like you said, more visibility to it. Is it different, or is it still
different.
hard to know?
I think it is different because it is a much smaller group.
Yep.
I think the women all know each other very well, and they're used to playing each other. And I think a lot of the women just want the game to grow and want more girls to come up and play.
Yeah.
I'm going to the World Cup this year, so I'm really looking forward to seeing the women there. So yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I wouldn't know if it was just as nasty. Sometimes it can be, right? Doesn't
it? Can.
The other rivalries I wrote down on our sort of more regional scene here in the team side of it. State-wise, New South Wales Victoria is often who's going to win. Well, we don't play state versus state, but clubs from each state in the teams events and also in the individuals, you know. I think it was at the GP, was it? I'm blurring, of Sydney, where there was even banter around that Tony Creditito made the final, was the last Sydney person at the Sydney event left. I think it might have even been in the quarterfinals, which is unusual. They're usually more dominant in terms of numbers, at least. And nationally, Australia versus Singapore had a strong rivalry. It's sort of been the two strongest nations in our region for a while. Aussie's yet to beat them, so we'll probably see it as a rivalry as we want to get one up over them eventually. Singapore are very strong in our region. And the rising New Zealand as well. It'd be great to have that rivalry, friendly rivalry, but they're developing and quite competitive, which is great. Very quickly to become quite competitive. So the Australia New Zealand across the ditch rivalry would be brilliant. And so this is my shirt from when I was a member actually of the Northern Flying Flickers team for one GP. It's Conrad and Richard come across so that they'd have at least the three for a team. I joined the club, which was great, and got the shirt.
And I think the rivalry in our region as well with Japan. Japan will attend a lot of our festive events, which is an incredible effort. And I'm very proud to be wearing today. I'm wearing a top that I was given when we had the Asian Cup, and I was really pleased to be given this. It's fairly unique, as you can see. And from what I can understand, it's from a Japanese League 2 team.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's the Fujita MYFC, who play in the Japanese League 2.
Obviously not in that playing strip.
Obviously not the playing
social
strip.
wear or fan wear, so to speak.
A great rivalry with Japan.
You've had a big contingent at the last Asian Cup, which surprised me a lot, right? To be honest, they had a big contingent, which is great. They're really keen to come down, which we're always keen to have them. On to football rivalries. Ooh, okay, football rivalries. Where to begin? So I'm trying to scale mine at least to World Cup rivalries. I don't know if you did the same, because otherwise it just goes on forever. Man United and Bristol, your Bristol rivalries. So some of the ones that jump to mind, of course, you would know England versus Germany. Penalties is the other thing that comes to my mind, and that as well.
Bring up penalties
I was going to say, did you want to talk about it, or we'll move straight along? Holland and Germany, for what the '74 World Cup, wasn't it? But Holland is
Huge.
thought they'd win. Everyone thought they'd win. Germany didn't touch the ball even before they scored.
Yeah.
And then 1990 jumped to my mind, where there's the 88 team from Holland, the gun team with Rijkaard, Gullit and Van Basten. It was a really nasty game. I remember Rijkaard got sent off for spitting in Voller's hair and all this sort of horrible stuff. So they really bowed out in a bad way, the Dutch team then. Mexico, USA, which will be really interesting for this World Cup in particular. I'm not sure where they line up on the draw. I've had a long rivalry. Australia, Japan, actually, in World Cup finals. I've had that rivalry. It's always a big one for us for qualifying.
Sorry, it's
high break.
You know what? I'm sorry. I have to stop.
Break.
We have to stop there.
I was in the middle of play. You can't do it then.
No, I have to stop. There's a dehydration break that we go into. So 3
I wish
seconds.
it was sponsored by Premium Yabishi, but it's not.
It's
this
not.
was sponsored by my wallet.
But we're going to have a 3-second dehydration break.
Yes. I prefer a hot lager, but
I prefer the
it's interesting. Anyway, the other ones are all Uruguay, which is interesting. And other teams have got rivalries with Uruguay. So there's Ghana from the quarterfinal in 2010, where Luis Suarez did the big punch off the line. Then Ghana, of course, missed the penalty and lost the shootout, so they got knocked out. They met each other again in 2022.
Yep.
And Uruguay actually beat them again in the group stage, but Boateng is one of the not commentators, but people back in the studio for the Australian coverage, and he was saying how the Ghanaians actually loved that because they still knocked Uruguay out on goal difference.
Right.
So they didn't lose by enough, which is interesting. There's a bit of rivalry there. Australia, Uruguay, I guess of our playoff games, has got a big rivalry as well. And the other one I'd be interested with your British origins, Scotland, Uruguay. Remember '86 World Cup? I presume they would have a massive massive rivalry with Uruguay if they met them again in a World Cup final.
So the common denominator is Uruguay.
Which they will line up if they finish second in their group, which is still in their debut after the first games. And Argentina are playing right now, so we don't know how they're going. Although it was ruled out for offside, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We thought they were down 1-0. They will line up if Argentina finish top of their group in the round of 32. Which would be an absolute belter of a rivalry game.
It would be.
So yeah.
I mean,
Adrian, too many.
You mentioned Argentina, so I guess other rivalries. England again, Argentina is a huge one. The hand of God.
And the Beckham clashes.
And the
clashes, plural.
Exactly. So that is a huge rivalry. Mentioning England and rivalry, I chatted to a few people back in the UK and said, who are the main rivals? Going back to subbuteo, so linking back to subbuteo table football. And they were telling me that the main rivalries at the moment are Langdon Green, the new club, and Yorkshire Phoenix. So interesting. So I'm going to keep an eye on that.
I got the banter online, maybe.
Got the bit of banter online. Who's better? Because we don't know.
Yes, so so there you go. There's some of our rivalries that come to our mind. The other special mention I want to give from the Football World Cup coverage, I want to give a yellow card out here to Conor McNamara. He's a very good commentator, so light-hearted yellow card. He was commentating here, and I think in the UK too, for the Belgium versus Egypt game in Seattle. So in the opening minutes, so he obviously had this pre-planned. He talked a bit about the different time zones in Belgium and Egypt versus Seattle, and said that a lot of the people back from Belgium and Egypt probably would have stayed up all night for this one. Then he dropped this: no better place to be sleepless than in Seattle. And I'm just like, oh my God. So I went, that's going straight to the podcast.
That's a yellow card.
And he went 2 yellow cards. He's got the red card. So then it must have been premeditated again. Immediately after the halftime whistle, with the score 1-0 to Egypt, he dropped this one. In this city, famous for their coffee, it is Egypt brewing so far.
Oh, that's just appalling.
Oh my God. So there you go. That was absolute belters in the coverage. I don't know if you've out there seen any classics as well. Haven't seen too many bad ones like that, but it is funny when they drop in the...
It absolutely is. So let us know, please. And also, if you have any ideas about what you'd like to see in our podcast, let us know.
Yep, yeah, if you've got a topic you want us to cover and chat about, hear our views on, more than happy to hear them. So we keep those ideas flowing. Before we go to our final toast, the other one, which sort of leads into it, I mentioned the last podcast, I think, the Kiwi black shirts.
Yes,
They played in them in the
They
heat.
played in the black shirts.
And they didn't lose again. So I looked at when they played, and so they're undefeated in World Cup finals in black kits. They've never won a game, mind you, as well.
But
so
they're
they drew
undefeated.
against Italy in 2010, which is pretty impressive to help
Yep.
knock Italy out. And now they drew, I've forgotten against who it was, Iran. Who are
Yeah.
on a bad side when they're going. They often crumble, which I thought they were going to do in the World Cup finals when the Kiwis went up. So, which leads into our tabletop toast.
Yes.
One of our friends, Conrad Mudge, is over there supporting his Kiwi team. Sent us some pictures and video of that game. He was there, so well done, Conrad.
Well done, Conrad.
I'm very envious of you being there.
So
Cheers,
to
mate.
Conrad and the Kiwis. Oh,
Right on time. It's the first
how's
time.
that for the time? Okay.
Do the final flick then, Beth.
All right. Well, that was perfect timing, Adrian. So the final flick. So that's full time on this episode. Whether you're nursing a fruity hazy or heavy stout, remember that in subbuteo and in the pub, the best times are the ones that you share with a mate. So keep your players upright, your glasses full, and we'll see you at the next flick off. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers, Beth.
Cheers, mate.
Cool. On time. How's that?
Oh, mate.